All right. Trolls Toys back at you with another unboxing and display video. And today we're going to be unboxing the biker mice from Mars. I've been holding off on this, trying to wait to get those motorcycles, but A, I can't find them, and B, they're 40 bucks. So I wasn't going to pay that. We found these guys on clearance for $10 a piece at a Walmart, so we obviously got Vinnie. We got Throttle. And we got Modo. So we got all three biker mice. So since I wasn't paying 40 bucks, I was racking my brain on what I could do for their motorcycles. And lo and behold, Target comes through with the Boneyard Slam Cycle from WWE. I bought the first one on sale for like 14 bucks. But then I got some online for like 8 bucks each. So I got quite a few. So I figured we could repurpose them. So we're going to take the Undertaker off of here, and we're going to try it out with the biker mice. We also got the regular Slam Cycle from New England Comic Con, or Northeast Comic Con. So I can try that if I want. But what I did, in addition to this, because I didn't want to put all three of them on the same bike, is I ordered 2 bikes from Amazon. I think one of them might be too small, so we might have to resort to the regular Slam Cycle. The first bike that I ordered is by McFarlane Toys. It's Red Hood sports bike, and it was 40% off, so it's down to 18 bucks. So we're going to give it a whirl, probably with Throttle. I think Throttle is the one who has the red bike. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. The other one that I had ordered is this 2015 Street Glide Special Harley Davidson by, I think that's Maisto is how you say it. But this is a 1/12 scale, and turns out the biker mice are 7-inch figures. So it might be a little too small, but we'll give it a whirl and find out. If it is, we're going to resort to the regular Slam Cycle from WWE. So I might have been wrong. I think Vinnie is the one who has the red motorcycle, at least in the nacelle line. We're going to put Vinnie on the Red Hood sports bike and see how that works out. All right, we've got Vinnie out of his plastic prison, and I gotta admit, biker mice I wasn't super familiar with. I looked it up and they came out in '99. I did start watching the cartoon. I think I made it through like 8 episodes so far. But I gotta say, I mean, he articulates pretty well. Arms a little bit tight. There we go. But legs, he's working pretty well. He comes with a helmeted head sculpt as well. He comes with like an open mouth head sculpt. He's got fisted hands. I don't know if you can see that, but fisted hands. This is more of like hands on him to hold weapons, I think. And then he's got more of open hands, maybe to ride the bike. He comes with a nice little firearm. Like a crowbar type weapon. And then this cool ass like jaw clamp. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with the cartoon, but I like that. And then he must like hot dogs, or maybe he is the hot dog of the group. I'm not sure, but he comes with a hot dog. So like I was saying, we're going to try pairing Vinnie, biker mice Vinnie, with the Red Hood sports bike from McFarlane Toys and see how that works out. So let me get Vinnie on the bike. So here we've got Vinnie on the Red Hood sports bike. And I gotta admit, I've never ridden a motorcycle myself, so figuring out how to pose a fucking figure on a motorcycle is a little bit of a challenge. But I think he scales pretty well, all things considered. I'm gonna try like sitting him up more upright on the crotch rocket and see how that works out. So I think this Red Hood sports bike works out pretty well with Vinnie. I like the way that looks. So at least he can now hold his weapon. We could try putting the pry bar, or I think if we're going to use this, he's not going to be on the bike. He would be standing in front of the bike holding this. But I'll maybe try to figure out if there's some way that I can make it where we attach this to the bike for storage purposes, but I'll do that later, where we attach these. But I like the way that this looks. We got basically all 3 of the motorcycles that we're going to try out for the price of one of the biker mice bikes at full price, which I was not going to pay. But I think Vinnie's looking pretty good on the Red Hood sports bike. We're going to now move on to Throttle. All right, Throttle looking pretty good as well. Like I said, I think Nacelle did a great job on these figures. I really like The way, I mean, they articulate, they're very smooth. I mean, Vinnie was a little bit stiff in his arms to start with, and Throttle is a little bit stiff right here at the hips, but they're brand new. I just knocked his tail off, but it just pegs in, so that's helpful. And Throttle comes with a sprocket launcher and 2 extra sprockets. He also comes with the same sort of gun as Vinnie. A helmeted head sculpt. An alternate head sculpt, open mouth. He comes with the bike riding hands. And fisted hands. And I gotta say, obviously, I said I watched like 8 episodes, but I was sort of doing other things while I had it on my computer. So I guess the biker mice must be big hot dog fans. He also comes with a hot dog. And I was going to try Vinnie with this Modo motorcycle. Like I said, I think it's going to be too small for him, but we're going to try it anyway. Not Vinnie, Throttle. Yeah, I think Throttle's a bit big for this Modo motorcycle. But I can probably make use of it with the Joes. I'm going to break out the Boneyard Slam Cycle just to see if he fits on that. And if he does, we'll probably dig out the regular Slam Cycle and put him on that. All right, so bear with me. Yeah, so I think Throttle scales well on the Boneyard Slam Cycle. But this motorcycle is destined for Moto, so we'll break out the regular Slam Cycle from WWE for Throttle. And but we're going to move on to Moto for now. We'll circle back to Throttle, and we'll show you all 3 on their bikes when we get it set up. All right, here we have Moto out of the package. Once again, very smooth figure right out of the box. They don't really have much torso crunch, but other than that, all of their joints seem very smooth, which is great. In very similar fashion to his partners, he comes with alternate helmeted head sculpt, an alternate open mouth face sculpt. He comes with a rocket gun, they call it. Fisted hands, sort of the more handlebar gripping hands. A hot dog, of course, and the same firearm. All right, let's get him on the Slam Cycle and see how he's looking, because that is who the Slam Cycle was destined for. All right, I gotta say, Moto looks pretty good on the Boneyard Slam Cycle by WWE. I did change his head sculpt to where he's got the more open head, and we got 1 handlebar gripping hand and 1 weapon gripping hand. So Moto looking pretty nice. I like the way that this looks. I think he scales well. So like I said, from Northeast Comic Con, we had gotten this Slam Cycle from 2020 from WWE Reckon. So we're going to break this out of the package, get rid of the Undertaker, and we're going to get Throttle on this bike and see. He should scale much better. We've got the Slam Cycle free now. It does come with alternate gas tanks, I guess. If you wanted to put a different gas tank design on it, you could, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I think this works well for Throttle. All right, if I have to say so myself, this worked out pretty well. So we got Throttle on the Slam Cycle by WWE. We got Vinnie on the Red Hood sports bike from McFarlane Toys. And we got Moto on the Boneyard Slam Cycle from WWE. And I think these bikes scale well for these 3 figures. I know it's not the bikes they rode in the cartoon, but like I said, those biker mice bikes are hard for me to find in my area. And I also didn't like the $40 price tag, especially when we paid 20 bucks for this Slam Cycle at Northeast Comic Con, 18 bucks for this one, and 14 bucks for this one, so $32, $52. I think one of those bikes for mice is like 40, 45 bucks. So overall though, I'm thinking the biker mice are looking pretty good. And I did put their signature weapons that they came with in their non-handlebar holding hands. Like I said, I've never ridden a motorcycle, but hey, I'm just posing these things on a fucking shelf, so I guess I can do whatever I want. Right? But I think they look pretty good. So I appreciate you watching my video, my unboxing and display of my biker mice. I'm going to get them onto my shelf. As always, Thanks for watching. This has been Trolls Toys, and we'll see you soon.